Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop, where I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Tonight, the homie Rockstar918 took down second place in the line drive single entry. That's the $40 buy-in. Solid showing. You see that? You see that? The sweatshop? You see that? Bam. Love to see the family do well, man. Shout out to the homie Rockstar918. Yo, it's very simple, man. Get with us, man. Come get with us. Hit up the website www.dfssweatshop.com. That's where we get into it at. Wonderful, beautiful. Always great to see somebody in the shop do well, man. Always beautiful and great to see that. Let's go ahead and check out. Let's go ahead and move right into the show, man. We're gonna be jumping into it, man. As you can see, I'm here live at Yankee Stadium, but I'm really not. Uh, Yo, Galen Van Zant, what's happening, big homie? Getting into it. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and chop it up, man. We're gonna start. Okay, we're gonna start on Twitter, where you know, we need to talk about this, okay? Because as you know, every day I lace out and throw out my tweet that I drop out. Who is gonna be the gang stack of tonight's MLB main slate? And had the Colorado Rockies out. It was a Coarse slate. Had the Detroit Tigers in there. They came in second place. A lot of us were high on that, and I think Kinsler getting thrown out of the game kind of had the chemistry bad. Upton did hit a jack. It was a pretty decent output until Kinsler got kicked out of the game. Then the Arizona Diamondbacks, another squad who I was kind of on, did not really perform very well as a unit. But the one that was totally neglected in this graphic, a team that went 7% here. In this graphic, 7% of people that voted said that they would play some of the Chicago Cubs, or they would be the gang stack of the night, right? And so we get in the line drive, and I'm like, yo, when I'm looking at the order, I'm looking at the lineup, I'm looking at the pitching, I'm looking at the fact that they're in Wrigley. I'm like, yo, the Cubs. Do not sleep on the Cubs. Do not be afraid to make a couple Cub stacks. Do it. And I don't just say these things. Like I'm not. See, a lot of people would be like, oh, I told everybody to do this. Hindsight is 2020. Like nobody were talking about them. You know what I'm saying? And it's very easy for a guy to come out of the woodwork after the lineups or after everything is already said and done. It's like, yo, I told everybody to play XYZ. But no, not only did I say or did we talk about the Cubs in the line drive, I also punched a couple of the names into the opto, made a couple of lineups, and you saw them, and those are the exact same lineups that I played. And well, actually, they weren't the same ones because we found out like 10 minutes before lineup lock that Zobrist was scratched and wasn't going to be playing. So I just snatched out Zobrist, put in Brandon fucking Phillips from Atlanta, ended up getting a 0. But that lineup still crushed. Like that's what got me the money tonight. That's what took me there. Those Cub stacks. Those Cub stacks were killer. They were killer, bro. So let's take a look at who actually. Let's take some of the gang stuff we got here. As was stated earlier, the Chicago Cubs were without a doubt the gang stack of the night. Rizzo 28, John Jay 26, Chris Bryant 25, Javier Baez 21, Tommy La Stella 17, 14 for Jason Hayward, and 13 for Kyle Schwarber. Phillips and Dickerson bad. Baltimore, Kaheem Jones. We was talking about Baltimore since last night. They were very decent. Well, very good actually. The second best team in terms of scoring on the slate. Actually, Machado hit a home run, which was a grand slam. Then you had the Philadelphia game where Hoskins hit 2 jacks. So it was pretty lit. Now as far as pitching, Zach Greinke 32.8. We had Trevor Bauer that was in the early 29, and look who came in third. Julio Teheran. I was like, yo, I like Tehran. I told them I like Tehran today. And they laughed at me, bro. They laughed at me. They were like, yo, this dude is stupid. but I liked him. I just did, man. I liked the spot he was in. I looked at the order without Arenado, man. That is a totally different squad. Now, of course, you had Blackman in there, who I knew was going to score probably. Well, I didn't know who I figured was scoring double digits, but for the most part, man, that's a different line. It made the Rockies completely unstackable for me in Coarse. Like I couldn't stack them, but I wanted to get some kind of stack ownership in the Coarse, so I did play a lot of the Atlanta bats. Those guys really let me down too. It could have been a much more profitable night had we headlined the Chicago Cubs as our featured stack, but that just was not the case, man. So, but I hedged with them, and it saved my night. It ended up being really good. So let's look at some of the pitching or some of the bad pitchers we had here. Kurt Nick, what's up, man? You're talking Adam Conley at 6.85 and early was bad idea. Doug Fister was horrible at 315. Mike Fulmer was somebody who I was on, and after chopping it up with everybody in the shop, it took me off of him. I mean, they really saved me with that. They took me off of him. Jarrell Cotton, negative 1.1. Never had any intention of playing him. Never had any intention of playing Wojciechowski. Ty Block did not even hit the scale for me. And, of course, Gallardo, not at all. Not at all. Wasn't on him at all. So we know that we do have a very fair amount of games chopping it up for today's slate. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and look at it. Open it up here. We've got, I believe, 14 games going in. I'm going to RotoQL and take a look. Okay, here we go. We got 14 games here, and that's going to be, well, it's 15 games in an all day. The first game is at like 3 o'clock or something, but we're just going to be rocking from the main slate from 7:05, where we've got, Mets Yankees, the Subway Series still going on strong there. So that is going to be a really, really, really solid spot for us to get to. So let's go ahead. Alrighty, make sure I got everything situated. What's good? Yeah, yo, Kurt Nick, what's happening, man? Yeah, it could have been a lot better, man. But God, dog, though, those Cubs stacks saved me, bro. Really did. So, all right, let's go ahead, man. We're gonna chop it up. We are, of course, we're gonna be talking about pitching here. The first class is where we really want to chop up our pitching and get those guys situated properly. We're gonna be looking at park factors. We're looking at BVP in some spots. We're gonna also look at weather considerations, things of that nature. Everything. Now we're gonna do some loose batter stack talk, but motherfuckers are making shows right now and they're saying, "Oh, you got to play this guy, you got to play that guy," but we know no, you can't. You can't. You got to wait till the lineups come out, and that's why the line drive at 5 is so important. Because once the lineup comes out, we all get together in a group, put our heads together, and we come up with great lines. That's what we do. So, let's go ahead, man. Let's jump right into it. First game on the slate is the New York Mets, and my New York Yankees here in Yankee Stadium. We got 81% humidity here, 5-mile-per-hour wind, 0% chance of rain, 75 degrees. You've got Jake DeGrom, Sonny Gray. DeGrom is at 12.6. You've got Sonny Gray at 10.7. And first and foremost, I want to talk about this just a moment, okay? You look at this slate, and you've got 14 games, 28 pitching prospects, right? This is a spot where paying all the way up for pitching can really hurt you. Because there's going to be so many pitchers that play well tomorrow or to later on today. There's going to be so many pitchers that have an opportunity to play well that if you hit yourself to one of the higher dollar guys, that's not a straight up bona fide ace that is going to completely destroy it. You really cripple yourself in terms of your batters. Okay, and you look at the top where you've got Bumgarner 12.7, DeGrom 12.6. Salazar, who I just don't want to pay 12.2 for. You got Verlander at 11.8. Like, yo, there's a lot of decent at the top. Not a lot of great. Not a lot of great. Gio Gonzalez here at 11.5 is a play that I kind of like. You got Sonny Gray at 10.7 against the Mets. I don't really love that one. You got Alex Wood, finally priced under 10K, but in a matchup against Chicago White Sox, I see him right now being a very, very used guy. I can see that, even though he's probably not going to pitch a ton of innings. You've got Denelson Lamet 8.5, Castillo 8.1 against the Cubs, Davies against Pittsburgh, who I want to have some of that. So there's a lot of stuff, man, that we can look to. There's no need to pay up. Chris Grace hit the nail on the head. There's really no need to exhaust most of your DraftKings salary. And this is only on DraftKings, where you got a 2-pitcher site where you don't have to pay up, man. Now, FanDuel, you got one shot, one kill at pitcher. You want to pick the pitcher that's probably going to score the most points. That's what you want. That's going to set the tone for your FanDuel lineups. But on DK, man, 2-pitcher sites, DK and Yahoo, because we do some Yahoo coverage as well. You're really gonna want to curb your enthusiasm in terms of paying up for those high dollar guys. Because look at the matchups, bro. Like, you got Bumgarner going to Miami. You know, like I don't love him in this spot. You got Jake DeGrom playing in New York against the Yankees. I don't love him in that spot. You got Salazar going to Minnesota. Like all of these high dollar guys are on the road. Verlander going to Texas, and the first guy that's home is going to be Gio Gonzalez, who I kind of like. So, shout out to homie Paul Harless Jr. Well, hey, how about your Cubs, bro? Good Lord. You should have saw that coming, man. You're a Cubs guy. Good Lord. That was crazy, right? 15 runs, man. They're probably still scoring right now. And Tyler Clippard is trying to play for every team in the league this season. Isn't that crazy? So, let's go ahead, man. Let's chop it up. Jump right into it. First game we got is Jake DeGrom. We got Sonny Gray. I want to take a look at what the Yankees do at the crib versus righties. This is going to give us a really good read on how we can approach them. I'm talking 21.8% K rate here, 168 ISO, 313 WOBA. I am not afraid of the Yankees, man. They just have not been very good recently. Does that mean I want to pay up for DeGrom? No, I do not want to pay up for DeGrom. Because just as easy as I can see him, shutting him down, just as much as I can see him shutting him down, I can see the Yankees, scoring some runs on DeGrom. And, and with these aces like this, you want to get them in, like, surefire, no-brainer situations. You want these aces in matchups where, I mean, 10 Ks is a must. It's like easy. And I just don't see, or even, because in my pitchers, I like to have a K per 1,000. And I don't think there's any way Jake DeGrom can get 12 Ks against this Yankee team. I don't think it's any way. On the other side, Sonny Gray at 10.7. The price on him is not as fair as I'd like it to be. I don't think he should be 10.7 in this spot, especially against, a power hitting team like the New York Mets. We're going to take a look at what the Mets do on the road versus righties, and I'm sure it's pretty decent. Yeah, we got him here, 22% K rate, 197 ISO with a 336 WOBA. That's going to put some of those Mets guys in play for me and really take Sonny Gray off of the table completely. Do not want to play Sonny Gray. Next game we got is the Los Angeles. That hasn't worked out lately, Mo. Pitchers in good spots. And what I mean by surefire no-brainer shit was like when Corey Kluber was facing the White Sox. Like, come on, you knew what time that was. Or when like Chris Sale the other day was facing whatever team he did when he scored like 40 points. Like if I don't look at, you can pretty much look at a matchup and a high dollar pitcher and be like, yo, I am playing you. And if I lose, fuck it. Like you can do that. Sometimes it's a little bit more risky. Like even like last night, like Greinke, to me, I couldn't play Greinke. Not against the Astros. It was really risky to me. I couldn't play him. Now some people saw that and jumped all over it and it worked out well for them. But for me, it was just a little bit too risky. But the other day, like Kluber and Sale, like that was a fucking no-brainer. There was no way I was not gonna play them cats in almost all my lineups. And that's the type of feeling I gotta have. That's the type of feeling I gotta have in terms when it comes to paying up for a pitcher on a big slate like that. On a 15-game slate, 14-game slate, I've got to really think I can get damn near 40 points from my pitcher, for me to pay up that much. You know what I mean? Next game we got is the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim and the Washington Nationals. The first thing I'm going to do in this spot, because I like Gio, I want to look on the road versus lefties and see where the Angels sit. I want to see what the Angels do on the road versus lefties. I don't think it's been pretty good. Okay, you got a 17.4% K rate, 104 ISO with a 289 WOBA. The one thing that's going to concern me here is, with Gio being 11.5, I'm going to want at bare minimum 10Ks. And this is an Angels order that just does not strike out a lot. So if I'm paying 11.5 for Gio Gonzalez, man, I'm going to need a limited amount of runs here. I'm talking 2 at most. 2 at most. And I don't think he can really hold them down. I don't think he can hold the Angels down in this spot. So Gio is going to be a very, very hard pass for me. Gio has been a guy that I really like. Take a look at his last few starts. 24, 29, 24, 5.9 the last time against the Angels. That was in Anaheim. You've got 31.15 against Cincinnati. That was in Cincy. So I just, it's going to be tough to not play him. I just don't think I have to in this spot. You're going to see so many lefty-righty matchups here that play in the favor of the Angels. While I do not think I love to stack up all the Angels, I think there's a couple of one-offs that I can use while I'm fading Gio Gonzalez here. On the other side, Tyler Skaggs, 6.2. The Nationals at the crib versus lefties, I believe, has been pretty decent. I believe they have been pretty decent at the crib versus lefties. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah. I'm talking a 208 ISO, 316 WOBA, 22.1% K rate. And I want you to keep in mind, this is not misleading. As a matter of fact, this is going to be an even better situation than you may think. Because you might say, man, well, of course, they're going to have a pretty decent ISO and WOBA with Bryce Harper because Bryce Harper's been there. But guess what? Bryce Harper does not hit well at the crib versus lefties. So you take him out and you throw these other cats in, you can definitely look to some of those Washington bats against Tyler Skaggs, man. That's like a front runner for the team that I kind of want to talk about the most, especially once we get the batting orders inside the line drive at 5. Paul Hartis wants me to show Jake Junis some love. 5.6. He had 13.9 points, and Blackman at 5.8 had 10. Junis was a good call. Yeah, it was decent. He didn't win tournaments. He was alright. He wasn't as good a call as those Cubs. You know what I'm saying? Good Lord, they went off. So Washington right now is a team that just stands out to me. At the crib versus lefties. Definitely want to look at them a little bit more. 200 ISO, 391 WOBA, 21.2% K rate, like that. At home against lefties, definitely can use the Washington Nationals here. Next game we got is the Tampa Bay Rays and the Toronto Blue Jays. Blake Snell at 5.5, Marco Estrada 7.4. Blake Snell in his last couple of starts has not been prolific. 16.65 against Cleveland, 8.2 against Houston, 9 against the Yankees, 13, 11, 16. So the dude does not get hit all the way up. Dude does not get hit all the way up, but he doesn't score enough, man. He just doesn't. And you look at the Toronto Blue Jays, one of the hotter teams right now. Let's take a look at what they do at the crib versus righties. You're gonna be surprised, bro. They are number 1 in ISO. This is only 63 plate appearances, but still, man, they've got a 25.4% K rate, which is pretty high. But that 443 ISO and 425 WOBA, this is over the last 30 days. They have been seeing lefties. They have been seeing them so good. And for that reason, I cannot play Blake Snell. Marco Estrada at 7.4 is going to be in play for me. And I do want to have some exposure to some of those Toronto bats. We look at what the Tampa Bay Rays have done on the road versus righties. And you know what? It's funny because a lot of times you're a day early on stuff. We look at them, 25% K rate, 174 ISO, 303 WOBA. I definitely think Estrada is going to be a popular pitching option tomorrow, as he should, because since he's had those really bad games recently, he's righting the ship. Since that 1.1 against Cleveland, 11, 20, 19, 26 against my Yankees. So he's really righted the ship recently, and I think he's in a decent spot against a team that does strike out 25% of the time on the road versus righties. So I think Marco Estrada is definitely going to be a play for me, something that we can look forward to. I see Toronto giving it to Blake Snell, making him Blake Shell, and so that's going to put Estrada in line for the win. He's a guy that I do like. I've got no issue there. And we also take a look at the park factors. In this game, Rogers Center. I want you to be on the lookout because Rogers Center is a very, very hitter-friendly park, man. We're talking 8th in the league in park factors here. Plus 112. is going to be overall park factor. So for every 100 runs scored, you're going to get 105 here. For every 100 jacks hit around the league, you're going to get 120 here for a plus 112 park factor. So keep that into consideration. But I do think Estrada's in a very good spot. Next game we got is the St. Louis Cardinals going to Boston, to Fenway. Yeah, I think Estrada's going to be chalky. Troy Dobbins just asked, do I think Estrada will be chalky? Yes. I think people that pay up for pitching are going to instantly go to Estrada as an SP2. And I think people that pay down for pitching are going to have him and somebody else closely priced, as their starting pitcher. So I say no matter, there's going to be no way around it. People are reeling from how bad how bad the Rays have been recently. They're going to think that continues, and they're gonna definitely attack the Rays with Estrada, and that's why we're gonna take a look at this tomorrow or later on today in a line drive, because there could be some merit to not only fading the chalk that is going to be Estrada, but playing some Tampa bats, thinking, hey, maybe we were a day early on our batter stack and go at them. So we're gonna chop that up inside the line drive once the orders come out. Mike Leake, 6K going to Fenway, taking on Rick Porcello. 17% chance of light rain here, 70% humidity, 74 degrees, 8-mile-per-hour wind going out toward the big green monster, and a 63 dew point. Kaheem Jones says, I am attacking Porcelain. I don't trust him to be good. Me either, at all. And, Cardinals on the road are a thing. Let's take a look. The Cardinals on the road versus right-handed pitching, they have been fairly decent, baby. Let's take a look. 22.9% K rate, 130 ISO. Look at the 322 WOBA. What this means is all of them aren't good, but the usual suspects are going to be good. You look at Matt Carpenter, you look at Tommy Pham, maybe some Yachty at 3.7. All guys you probably can take a look at. Porcello at 7.8. Not a guy that I really want to take a chance on. This is a 10-run total. In his last couple of starts, not horrible. 23.9, good against Tampa, who everybody's been playing well against Tampa. 12 against the White Sox, 13 against Kansas City, 22 against the Angels, 17 against my Yankees, and 27 against Tampa again. So his best 2 games in the last 8 have been against Tampa. Everybody's killing Tampa. So I can definitely see grabbing a couple of one-offs from the St. Louis side. We're going to look at that closer when the lineups come out. Mike Leake is priced at 6K. Going to Fenway, man, 6.88 in his last 3. That 29 against Colorado, man, it's fool's gold. I can't play Mike Leake in this spot. You look at this kid, man. This dude has been mashing. Rafael Devers, and he's a very solid lefty-righty matchup here. 4.7. You got to like that. Bogarts is waking up. I do not want to play Mike Leake. Do not want to play Rick Porcello. I have no interest in either of those pitchers in that game. Let's take a look at the park factors in Fenway. This is a neutral spot, man. For every 100 runs around the league, you're going to get 111 here. For every 100 jacks, you're only going to get 90 here. But still, man, park factor is decent. It's neutral. Next game we got is the San Francisco Giants and the Miami Marlins. The money line here is -107 for the Giants, -103, -103 for the Marlins here. 90 degrees, going to be hot. We got 73 dew point. You got Madison Bumgarner, 12.7. Dan Straley at 6.5. Straley is a guy that I kind of like here. 9.75, 19.15, 12.1. I think Straley is one of the safer guys to not get you like negative points. I really do. And you couple that fact with, you've got the Miami Marlins who've really been hitting well. Stanton's run will end tomorrow. Yeah, I can dig it. I can dig it. You look at the Marlins who've been hitting very well. 7.5 run total. You got Bumgarner at 12.7. I don't want to play Bumgarner. I just don't. And I think that these games are relatively low scoring. Whenever you have like an ace-style pitcher out there on the mound, a guy that can get guys out and strike guys out, I think that makes the game low scoring. But I don't want to pay up for Bumgarner at 12.7. I think he can pitch a really solid game, and he lose like 2-1, and then you have Dan Straley get the win and not give up a lot of runs at half the salary of Madison Bumgarner. That's why I'm going to take a look at Dan Straley here. I do not want to pay up for Bumgarner. I think at the Giants' order is very weak and can be exploited easily. Dan Straley throws hard, can pitch deeper into games. I like him. I like him. The Marlins don't strike out. Kevin O'Hearn. The Marlins do not strike out. They just don't. and Madison Bumgarner has not been like Mad Bum from days past. Like the highest score we've seen this season is 28.15. I'm not I'm not paying 12K for 20 points. No. Mo, does Stanton go deep tomorrow? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think he's gonna have to. I think he's gonna get a couple of hits though. I think he's gonna get a couple of hits because I mean, you can't not worry about this dude taking it over the fence. If you look at what he's been doing recently as a pitcher, man, you've got to know this dude is trying to hit it over the wall. And if he just makes solid contact, gets on a couple times, maybe hits a double or gets an RBI, sac fly, he can pay it off. The price is 5.2. You don't really get a big discount because he's facing Madison Bumgarner, but it's good enough. I mean, 5.2 is decent. I can play him at that. I can. Straight might be good for a cash game. I can dig that. Take a look at the park factors in Miami, man. Very friendly spot for pitchers. That's why Stanton or Ozuna will be the only guys that I really could get behind playing because those cats can hit it however long it takes to get it out of there, to get it out of the stadium. They can hit it that long. So you look at it, for every 100 runs scored, you're going to get 100 runs here, so it's even. But for every 100 jacks around the league, you're only going to get 72 here, and like 62 of them are going to be hit by Giancarlo Stanton. So part factors in favor of the pitchers. Next game we got is the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Milwaukee Brewers. Zach Davies, bro. Zach Davies has been pitching his ass off for certain parts of the season. Last start, -105 against Minnesota. Before that, 21-17, 31. That was against Washington, the Cubs, and the Tampa Bay Rays. Last time against Pittsburgh, 18. He has faced them a couple of times, -1.95. That was at home. The one game he did have that was good against them, I believe, was in Pittsburgh. And you got him. It's going to be tough to play pitchers in Milwaukee in Miller Park. You could already count on that not being a thing. People are not going to want to play pitchers in Miller Park. This could be, I think, Kaheem Jones, I think Davis could certainly bounce back in the spot. I really do. Let's take a look at what the Pirates do on the road versus right-handed pitching. That should help us a little bit to determine. Okay, here we go. 20.9% K rate, 125 ISO with a 300 WOBA. That is going to put Davies in play for me. On the other side, look at Ivan Nova, who had a very, very nice start last time out. Excuse me. That was a couple games ago. Damn, that was all the way back against Chicago, 24.6. Yeah, 4.45, 16.7, 10.45. I'm sorry, he has not been very good lately. Miller Park, them at home, Brewers, lefty-righty matchups. You know where I'm going with this. Yeah, the Brew Crew looks pretty good. The Brew Crew looks pretty good. They do. They look pretty good in this spot. I've got no issue with playing Zach Davies and or some Brewers. Next game we got. Oh, let's look at the park factor. Let's look at the park factor because we got this is like the second ranked park in terms of park factor, plus 118 out in Miller. This means for every 100 runs scored around the league, you're going to get 107 here. For every 100 homers hit around the league, you're going to get 118 here. Big park factor, plus 118. Next game we got is the Cincinnati Reds and the Chicago Cubs. We got Kyle Hendricks at 7.7, Luis Castillo at 8.1. The Cubs have been the most disappointing team. Like, well, the most inconsistent of all of the good teams, of all of the really good teams in the league. The Cubs this year have been the most like inconsistent and the most hard to read. You know, I mean, it's so inconsistent because they'll go out and they'll score 15 runs against a decent pitcher, and then they'll turn around against Luis Castillo, a not so awesome pitcher, and he will shut them the fuck down. So it's rough. It's rough. Castillo at 8.1. He's had some pretty decent starts. Really high K guy, I think. 10.1, 10, 29, 3, 16.5 in his last few starts. I like Cincinnati here. I really do. You know, you got Kyle Hendricks at 7.7. That dude is horrible. He's not very good at all. Of course, Cincinnati Reds are going to want to score some runs. It hangs him up. 13, 15, 11, 12 in his last 4 starts. Nothing to really, be scared of. I think this is a game stack opportunity for us here. Yeah, Kevin O'Hearn says the last time the Cubs put up 15 runs, he chased them for a week with no success. Because they're like that, bro. That's just how they are. And I think now we see the shift go back to some of those Cincinnati guys. Let's look at what they do on the road versus righties. I'm talking the Cincinnati Reds here. 20% K rate, 158 ISO, 329 WOBA. That's decent. You look at what the Chicago Cubs do at the crib versus right-handed pitching. And here right there, 22.4% K rate, 181 ISO, 316 WOBA. Don't love the pitching in either of these spots. I think you can play a collection of bats in both respects. I don't have a problem. Next game we got is a game that I read completely wrong yesterday. We got the Detroit Tigers and the Texas Rangers. Justin Verlander, 11.8. AJ Griffin, 5.9. Verlander, man. Verly is very tempting to play here, man. 11.8 is sort of pricey, but 31, 32, 24, 23, 23 in his last 5 starts, bro. He has been good. And I was against Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Houston, Kansas City twice. Like, he has been good. Verlander has been very good. And what I've same thing. I want to see the lineup. You know, I was on Fulmer until I got into the line drive yesterday. Like, nah, man, I don't like Fulmer. So I got off of him. But why I was really on him was, especially when I saw like Shin-Soo Choo wasn't going to be in there. They had a couple more righties at the top of the order than they normally did. So I kind of agree with Kaheem. I'm going to have to see how the lineup looks, because if I was going to pay up, this is the absolute highest I would pay up for pitching, 11.8 for Justin Verlander. So I'm going to have to take a look at this, because we did see the Texas Rangers score pretty decently. And you look at what the Rangers do at the crib versus righties. I should not have ignored this number. Look at this. They are 237 ISO, 389 WOBA with a 22.9% K rate. They do not play at the crib versus right-handed pitching. You look at the Detroit Tigers on the road versus righties, and they're not half as good on the road against righties as they are on the road against lefties. So they're pretty bad, actually. 21.5% K rate, 118 ISO, 285 WOBA. Not good at all. Torrey Dobbins says Fulmer almost threw a no-hitter against the Rangers last year, and those are things I was thinking about when I was talking him up and I wanted to play him. But when I got into the sweatshop in the line drive, man, y'all was like, nah, man, don't do it. I don't like him. So I got off him. I got off him for Junis, actually. Shout out to the homie Paul Harless. And I had a bunch of salary left, and I ended up paying up for some more bats. That's how I got them Cub stacks in there rocking. All right, so yeah, Verlander. I'm gonna come back and look at that. No AJ Griffin at all. Well, wait a minute. 5.05, 21 against Minnesota. Detroit is bad on the road, man. Detroit is bad on the road, but I can't play AJ Griffin in this spot. I just can't. It's not what I want to do. I can't play him. Next game we got is the Cleveland Indians and the Minnesota Twins. Danny Salazar, 12.2. Bartolo Colon, 5.8. Yo, we had some cats, some mumblings and grumblings in the shop that they're looking at playing Bartolo Colon no matter what at 5.8, no matter what he's going to do. Yo, last time out, the dude pitched like 47 innings and only scored like 26 points. Like, dude, or was it the Texas game where it was like a complete game and he only scored 22 points? That was crazy. Kaheem says, "Give me all the cologne." Against Cleveland, fuck that. I can't do it, bro. I'm stacking the shit out of Cleveland tomorrow against Bartolo Colon. I'm doing it. I'm just give it to me. I love it. There's no way I'm playing Bartolo Colon. Give me the Cleveland Indians here. I'm gonna take a look at what they do on the road versus righties. I think they are one of the better spots. 20.5%, 150. That's the K rate. 157 ISO, not great, and not even a great WOBA. 297 WOBA. That's not even great there. So the numbers might be in Bartolo's favor, but there's no way I can play him. I just can't. Looking at Danny Salazar, 12.2, facing the Minnesota Twins. Let's take a look at what the Minnesota Twins do at the crib versus righties, man. 183 ISO, 353 WOBA, and 18.5% K rate. I don't like Salazar for that reason. I don't like Salazar. And Salazar came out and pitched a freaking gem last time in Tampa. And we found out later on. No, that was Carrasco. Tampa got hit up. Yeah. That was Carrasco. It wasn't Salazar. Salazar had 19 last time against Tampa and 33 against my Yankees in the game before that. He's not a guy that I love. I think I can play a Minnesota bat or two, but I'm not going to go ham and just stack Minnesota against him. But I don't love him in this spot. I really don't. Looking at the park factors, talking about the Twins here, I believe it's going to be a fairly neutral spot, man. Uh, yeah, it's going to be fairly neutral. Negative 96. For every 100 runs scored, you're going to get 101 here. For every 100 homers hit around the league, you're going to get 91 here. Park factor of 96. So it doesn't really matter too tough. Next game we got is the Atlanta Braves and the Colorado Rockies. Sean Newcomb, 6.7. Kyle Freeland, 6.2. 11.5 is going to be the run total. Yesterday, we didn't see shit in terms of scoring in Coarse, man. It was a 12.5 total. I think we had 3 runs total scored. And this could be the exact opposite here. The exact opposite here. Now, Kyle Freeland at 6.2, not a pitcher that I would want to be linked to in any way, shape, or form, especially against the Atlanta Braves here. 2.15, 11.85, 14.7, not a guy that I want to play at all. Now, even though, let's take a look at what the Atlanta Braves do on the road versus lefties. This should help us a little bit. 221 ISO, 18.6% K rate, 359 WOBA. So one thing I love about this is I think that there's going to be a little letdown, or there was a little letdown in terms of what happened in Coarse yesterday. And folks are not going to want to roster them with the same frequency. But it's still Coarse, and everyone in DFS has been trained to always get as many Coarse bats as possible. Okay? But if you look at this, man, the Braves are taking a low 18.6% K rate on the road versus lefties to Coarse. They're taking a 221 ISO to Coarse. They're taking a 359 WOBA to Coarse against a pitcher that, for all, like, to be real, Kyle Freeland sucks. He's not good. So I think I was a day early on some of that Atlanta stuff. I'm gonna be going right back to him. Hopefully, you're gonna see the Rockies as a huge favorite, and nobody's gonna want to play the Braves, and we can sweep up all the money. On the other side, let's look at what the Colorado Rockies do at the crib versus lefties, and this should be decent. Should be good. There you are. 12.6% K rate. 12.6% K rate, bro. 291 ISO, 499 WOBA. This is nuts. So this is from what we're getting, yesterday was not the day to play Coarse. Today is the day to play Coarse. On either side, today is the day to play Coarse. These pitchers, I mean, Newcomb at 6.7. He's not great. He's not great. 17.3 against Philadelphia, 11 against the Dodgers, 13.65 against Philadelphia, 20 against the Dodgers again. Now, is Arenado on like the 12-day DL or something like that? I want to see exact on a 10-day DL, or is he hurt? Or Arenado's not line up. Thomas Hardy. Okay, Arenado will get the day off. Okay, he just gets the day off. That's all. As he nursed a hand injury sustained after getting hit by a pitch Sunday's game. X-rays came back negative, so the injury is expected to keep him sidelined for too long. The Rockies will ultimately play it safe with their third baseman. So okay, so we could see him play, and especially if Arenado is playing, game stack. If Arenado is playing, game stack automatically. Next game we got is going to be the Kansas City Royals and the Oakland A's. Jason Hamill, 6.6. Chris Smith, 5.1. Very cheap price on Chris Smith here. We look at what the Kansas City Royals do on the road versus right-handed pitching, and it's not horrible, man. 20.2% K rate, 327 WOBA is nice with a 142 ISO. We would like them to hit for more extra bases, but that could definitely happen against Chris Smith here. His price again is 5.1. In his last couple of starts, 4.7, 5.2, 6.1. A decent start against Tampa Bay, 18.75. A dude that is very much attackable and a guy that I do not want to play. Jason Hamill against Oakland, 6.6 is the price for him. Let's take a look at Hamill in his last couple of starts. 18.25, 10.05, 20, 11, 13. He hasn't been like hit up all year long. I mean, would you go all the way back to against the Yankees in like 15, 20 games ago almost? He hasn't really been chopped up. So maybe. You look at Oakland, man, at the crib versus righties, they strike out a lot. Oakland at home against right-handed pitching. 23.2% K rate. That 189 ISO is scary with that 318 WOBA as well. So that's gonna be a play that we have to look at. Jason Hamill. On the other side, Chris Smith, no way. You can chop him up some more in the line drive. Next game we got is the Chicago White Sox and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Miguel Gonzalez and Alex Wood. Yo, didn't Miggy have a nice start last time at 5K? Miggy went ham. 24.4 against Houston, bro. Houston is shit in the bed right now. Negative 15 against Boston, 10, 17, 14. Not a guy that I would want to play, especially in Dodger Stadium against all that lefty power there. Alex Wood at 9.6. The price should be coming down on this cat, man. We haven't seen him score above 20 points in the last 4 starts, man. 17, 14, 16, -3. And I don't think he's going to pitch, forever in a game. He could, go 5 innings and they pull him. So not going to be too much on Alex Wood. Plus, we have seen some of the White Sox bat pretty well recently. Let's take a look at what they do on the road versus lefties. I think this is not going to be bad. White Sox on the road versus lefties. Okay, 22.2% K rate, 116 ISO, 279 WOBA. Yes, that is bad. That is bad. They are not bad. They are not good on the road versus lefties. The Dodgers at the crib versus right-handed pitching. You're gonna love this. 222 ISO, 356 WOBA with a 16.2% K rate and 277 plate appearances. That means most certainly the Dodgers are going to be in play for us. The park factor here is definitely, I think, it's a neutral spot. Look at Dodger Stadium. Yes, the 97 park factor, very close to neutral. Don't have to worry about it. Wood, I don't love Wood, man. Yeah, Houston is acting like Houston again. Yeah, I don't think Wood is going to pitch deep into games, especially now. Like, they pretty much got the division like locked up, or they're on the road to locking the division up. I really don't think that they're gonna push their pitching. Next game we got is the Philadelphia Phillies. We got San Diego Padres here. Dinelson Lamet 8.5, Mark Leiter Jr. 6.8. Yo, Mark Leiter Jr. is somebody who I am going to consider. 13.2 against Pittsburgh, 9.85 against Seattle, 25 against Arizona. I'm gonna consider Mark Leiter, and I'll tell you why. The Padres have been very good. The Padres have been very good. But we look at what they can do at the crib versus right-handed pitching. All right. 23.1% K rate, 193 ISO, 306 WOBA. So this is definitely a chance we're taking. But at 6.8, who's going to give me an opportunity to pay up for the bats that I really want, I am going to give Mark Leiter, I'm going to actually give him some consideration. We look on the other side, the Philadelphia Phillies on the road versus righties. The 18.3% K rate, don't strike out a lot. The 136 ISO and the 309 WOBA, don't really love that too much. Dinelson Lamet, he would be in play if he was cheaper. I just don't love him at that price point. Mark Leiter, 6.8, really nice price there. So, and some of you may like Lamet. You may like Lamet. He does have a K upside if his stuff is working. 13 against Cincinnati, 23 against Pittsburgh, 24 against Pittsburgh again, 21 against San Fran, 8.2 against Colorado, 3 against Cleveland, 32 against the Atlanta Braves. So, it's tough. He said Leiter, Cologne, and Coarse bats. Yeah. Hell yeah. Last game on the slate is going to be the Baltimore Orioles and the Seattle Mariners. You got Wade Miley, 6.9. Giovanni Gallardo? No, you just pitched, bro. There's no way. You can't do that. You just pitched. Let's take a look. All we got so far is Wade Miley. And, yo, in his last start, bro, Miley was not bad. 30.15 against Oakland, 13 against Detroit, 17.65 against Texas. Do I want to play Wade Miley against the Seattle Mariners order? Probably not, man. I would almost guarantee Nelly Cruz to take him deep, man, and bang him out for a jack. So I don't love Miley here. We need to find out exactly who's going to be pitching for the Seattle Mariners. I'm gonna open up MLB.com and see if they have, or if it's a to be determined. I'm gonna open it up and check it out, because this is something that we gotta know going forward, baby. We got to know this. We'll hit up the yeah, because I mean, I'm just not a big fan of playing lefties against Seattle, man. I just don't. I don't like it. Let's take a look. Okay, who we got? Baltimore, Seattle. Let's see what we can do. It looks like it's to be continued. Well, to be to stack Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore has been killing it lately. Wade Miley and Andrew Albers. The 31-year-old was acquired from the Braves last week after going 12-3 with a 2.61 ERA for AAA Gwinnett. He'll make his first start in place of the injured James Paxton. He's pitched 17 games in the minors and spent 2014 in Korea. Andrew Albers, the left-handed pitcher. I'm okay, okay, I can dig it, but I ain't playing him. Not against Baltimore. No, Baltimore is in play, baby. Baltimore is in play, and I don't like Wade Miley against a lot of those the righties for Seattle either. So Albers, can't do it. Can't do it. Yeah, he can be a Shelley. So let's go ahead and take a look. Yo, Tone Ice Coley says stack Baltimore. Let's go take a look at some of the pitching that I like, man. I'm gonna add Verlander too. He might be a guy that I might like. So here we go. The guys I like right now, Justin Verlander, the highest guy that I'm even considering paying for. Zach Davies is the guy that I like. Marco Estrada. We all agree Estrada could be the chalk and the guy that we're definitely going to be taking advantage of. Mark Leiter Jr. Dan Straley is a guy who I like. Don't know how you all feel about him. And that is as low as we're going. So we got one, two. How much we got? One, two, three, four. Five pitching prospects: Verlander, Davies, Marco Estrada, Mark Leiter Jr., and Dan Straley. Of course, this could change. The list is going to shrink as we approach the line drive at 5. If you want to be a part of that, man, get with us. Go to the website, www.dfssweatshop.com. That is where you will receive all of the tips and tricks and tutelage to help you be a profitable daily fantasy sports player. Tone, Tone said I'm rolling with that nickname. Tone Ice Coley. Yo, because you've been killing it, bro. You've been getting to it, man. One of my favorite cats in the shop, man. Much love for all of y'all, man. If you're on FanDuel, keep it 250. If you're on DraftKings, yo, please. If you're on DraftKings, keep it 300. Keep it 200, right? Don't forget on your way out to send a big shout out to the homie Rockstar 918. Shout out to you, man, for representing the shop well and taking down second place in the line drive single entry. Really nice move for you, man. Yo, y'all hold it down, man. Peace. Much love to y'all, man. I'll check y'all out in the line drive. Let's hold it down. Keep it 300. Peace.